Hard Yarners. We just finished a fucking awesome podcast with Cam McLaren.
Yeah. Woo.
And before we talk about what we spoke about, this episode is brought to you by alltradescover.com.au, who are on again for another year as a sponsor.
Yeah.
So fucking stoked about that. If you have a trade, business, big business or small business, they're going to cover you. So hit them up for a quote, and hopefully they can cover you and be competitive. Please mention our name because it's actually helping us earn more money.
We love it.
We love money. Also, this episode's brought to you by Brought to you by Kahuna Golf. Kahuna Golf is look good, feel good, play good, and for Delby, he doesn't play good, but he does look good. And they've got they've got the good attire. They've got the hoodie, which I use a lot for gym as well as golf, and the hats, the pants, the shorts, the shirts. It's all the good. So
it's the best.
Hard Yarns 15 for your 15% discount on their attire. And this episode is brought to you by Raunchy Brewing, the beer that's actually good. Also, Sir Henry's, the pub that they own, which is the Irish pub in Northbridge, which also houses Squealing Pig. So if you want to go to Squealing Pig Comedy, go to our page, and we put on monthly shows at the moment, which will be progressing to weekly shows probably in October. So,
and then it will progress to daily shows.
Oh, my Lord.
Then it will progress to hourly shows. Thanks, Raunchy.
But today's episode, except for the end where it got all dark and scary.
So
and
sad.
So sad, and we finished on such a down note.
Just sobbed. We sobbed into the microphones.
It was not great. It was such a bad. This is terrible. We should vet these stories a lot better. This is why we don't go through the comments and just read them, because there's some bad ones. But anyway, we do read some Ripper Ghost stories about an hour in. But at the start, we talked about positive affirmations.
Yeah, positive affirmations.
Faking it till you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Parenting.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned so much.
What else did we talk about?
Just perception of things, I guess.
Oh, Bashar, the channeler, the guy who channels an alien, Bashar. Anything else?
Just general tomfoolery.
Tomfoolery.
Yeah.
No, it was good. Or even just of dimensional reality existence and putting yourself in that. Yeah. Oh, this was a juicy woosy.
plus I learned the word hucksterburger.
Huckster. But, yep, enjoy this episode, and yeah, let's get hard.
Yeah, I love it. Let's get hard. Woo!
Welcome to Hard Yarns Podcast.
I am fucking fat.
Anything Chris White says, please disregard it.
5D is actually a state of being. It's a unity consciousness.
That was Hard Yarns with me, Frankie Rose. So I'm going to throw it over to your co-host,
Daniel Delby.
And Cameron Branch.
I would do this and then I'd gong.
Free in attendance for the millions listening at home. Let's get hard.
Yeah, go down.
There I am. There I am.
You're too tall now.
Okay, I'm a big sexy boy.
Your pre-show affirmations.
Yep, I'm a big sexy boy. All right. That's what I've been doing with Scotty lately. Not saying I'm a big sexy boy, but
you better not be.
like positive affirmations.
That's cute.
So she's been behaviourally a little
rat bag.
Yeah, she's been a bit of a rat bag lately.
rascal.
It's been a fucking challenging 2 or 3 weeks. I won't deny that. And it got to a point where it was so challenging that we were actually both, like, parents, teachers, everyone around was saying, okay, you can't do this. No pushing, no fighting, no scratching, no yelling, all that's enforcing what she shouldn't do.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened. Not gonna lie, it came to me in meditation.
Yeah.
And also, I think I definitely have been told this before as well. So, I'm not saying it come to me divinely.
Yeah, but maybe it was like logged in your brain hole, and then you meditated and it floated to the surface.
Which was the positive affirmation style stuff. So instead of, so the reason she's emotionally, it's a snap decision. Like when she feels threatened or emotionally challenged, she'll push and lash out and then instantly go, oh my God, sorry. And then she'll start crying and get upset that she's done the wrong thing.
Sounds like my dad.
So, so I said, how about we focus on affirming the positive things that she's done and continue to I guess, embrace that so she has more confidence. And if she's confident, she's going to be less scared.
Yeah.
And she's going to be less emotionally flight or fight response.
That's so smart.
And then hopefully if she's less stressed, in a less stressful situation, she's going to not lash out as much.
Yeah, plus, she's a little baby. Do you want her like going through her life being told, no, you can't do this, don't bite, don't hit?
Exactly.
And obviously she shouldn't.
Yeah, there's
but maybe
there's
she's
clearly
gonna be
room.
loading this little internal monologue of don't do this, don't do that. She's going to grow up as this woman who can't even cross the road.
Exactly.
Better not, I'll get in
Yeah.
trouble.
So there's a room for discipline and saying no, don't do
Yeah.
that. Like don't do it because I said so. I get that. There is a part of that.
Yeah, but also like maybe
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
So and it's been not saying it solved the problem because there's obviously more going on with Scotty than most kids, but it's just it's been an incredible week. No fighting, no pushing, no scratching, no.
Literally, you feel like that's the main catalyst too, just something a bit.
I think making her more confident has definitely helped because her issues stem from fight or flight response and just emotional bang. I'm acting out of fear. And then instead we've created a bit more of a confidence about her. And
so she doesn't have to act out of fear because she's all confident and happy.
Yeah, and so she has a bit more time. It's like when you're driving. If you're stressed and in a rush, someone cuts you off. Fuck you!
So angry.
Fuck you! But if you're like, I'm just going down the beach, I don't care. Like, it's a Thursday. I'd be like, I don't care. It's all good. No worries. We've all made mistakes.
Dude.
There's a different person.
Yeah.
Are you still angry no matter what?
No, I feel the difference is there's normal me driving, and I've never driven under the influence of marijuana. But if I had so chill, man. I'm like, fuck it, get in my car if you want, man.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm just like, I got to try to remind myself when I'm driving they didn't do it on purpose. They're just trying to get to where they want to go, and they're a bit dumb.
Exactly.
If I can remind myself of that, I don't have to like want to smash my own head into the steering wheel because I'm like, I hate you. Why did you do that? And like they didn't do it to you.
Yeah, and you've probably done exactly that accidentally.
Sometimes, but that's the worst. I do it on purpose. I know for a fact, like, when you're just watching traffic and you can see, that car's slowing down, so that guy in the left is going to try to pull into my lane. So I just sit enough forward that they can't. So it's frustrating to them where they're like, because like when you're driving, you're
that asshole.
Because when you're driving and you're like, fuck, either speed up or slow down, let me get into that lane, and they won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You be that person, you ass. You've
not
gone down
all the time.
notch.
Not all the time. But I'm just saying, sometimes I'm not having a good day, and you got to get. I need a win, bro. It's not mean. It's just a little bit of shenanigans. Then I'll speed up and off I go. But just
as long as it's fun to you, I do.
You got to make yourself laugh, man. Same as I love pulling the rude finger at people if they can't see me. I don't know why. It just gives me.
Like under the.
Or like as soon as they turn around, go like when you're driving at a set of lights. It makes me laugh so much. Pull off at a red light to someone, and you look over at them. They kind of look at you, and then they look back forward, and then you pull the finger at them. It makes.
For no reason.
Yeah, it just gives me joy, man. That's the reason. It makes me happy.
It's made me happy.
That's
I
my.
don't know why.
It's fun being a little ghost man. Like you don't have to hurt people. Yeah.
I like that.
But affirmations is a great idea.
Affirmations are great, man. I like positive ones, even if it's like.
I just feel like I can't. I just couldn't do it.
The fake it till you make it sort of idea.
Yeah.
I see that in a bit. Like I do that in life. Sometimes you go, no, I'm great. I'm fucking awesome. And it's that shoot for the moon, hit the stars concept. Mm-hmm. As long as you're aiming high, you're still going to get pretty close and you're going to be I adopt that sort of approach.
Isn't the stars further than the moon?
Yes, but that's what they said. They said it wrong.
You missed the moon by quite.
You missed a long way. Like
you did way better than you expected. Wow, you're killing
Shouldn't
it.
it be aim for the stars, hit the moon?
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sorry.
But yeah, the whole fake it till you make it sometimes, or like just believing. You see that Tony Robbins idea where he takes Theo Von and which I've seen him do this with a crowd before, like look for red, look for red, look for red. Now tell me what you saw that was brown, or the other way around. And then he's like, well, I didn't see anything brown, I was looking for red.
Yeah.
So you only see what you're looking for. So if you have that fake belief of like, I am happy, you're looking for things that make you happy.
Yeah, you're going to be happy boy.
Yeah, if you like, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm depressed, you're going to be looking for things that confirm I am depressed, I'm angry.
Yeah.
And so that's why I've been doing that with Scotty a bit. Like I think, like just confirm. Like we say, you're happy, you're smiley, you're going to have a lot of fun at school today. And Mate.
She's like, yeah, because if someone said that to you, even as an adult, if someone's like, you're happy, you're smiley, you're going to have a great podcast, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I am.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah.
I'd be like,
and
yeah.
you get those vibes. So when everyone's saying you can't do this, you can't do that, it's definitely going to restrict you, make you feel like, oh, why is everyone at me?
Yeah.
I don't think that's solved everything, but it's been a big change this week. So
I know it's toxic to ask, but just because she's your daughter, right?
yeah.
Are you not a little bit happy that her flight or fight response is fight?
Oh yeah.
Like
so
if
there's
anything, like the world is dangerous and a scary place. So if like I would be petrified having a kid, but if I knew that my kid would just stand and swing on, like it's like, all right, cool. At least you don't have to. There's a little bit where you're like, Scotty's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
She will just throw a punch. She will bite. She will kick. She's safe. She will fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a personality trait, as you grow up, that's what you need to get by in this world. You need to fight.
Yeah.
When you're pushed into a corner, the people who run aren't going to get as far.
yeah, I do like
They
it.
probably get away safer. But like, I don't know. I know that's a weird thing to ask.
No,
but I don't know,
but
it's just of anything, of the two responses, I'd much rather my kid had fight.
Yeah. No, 100%. No, I think
You have to put mittens on her right now and learn not to fight.
yeah,
but still,
stop
like,
hitting other kids.
like at least it's inner.
Yeah.
Like,
No, she's
is
definitely.
that toxic? That's probably a toxic thought, eh?
Oh, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I definitely prefer her stand up for herself.
Yeah.
But just obviously like learning a bit of temperance over the years. And when to use it, when you don't need to use it, when just understanding and whatnot.
for sure.
But she's 6, nearly 7. So.
Yeah, but it's good that she's got this magical, like, she just needs to control it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Channel
It's
that.
so cute, man, when you watch her and I go like, how are you meant to do it? Like if you're finding something tricky, what do you do? And she goes, breathe. And she does that with her. She pushes her hands down. Like
That's adorable.
like
That's the best.
it's adorable, man. It's good. But
Right before she snaps, you just see her in the corner going, pushing her energy
Yeah.
down like Goku, and then she just starts raging.
well, it's like and what I was getting at is sometimes like if you've got a guru, for example, and even if they're a huckster and they're not channeling something.
I'm so sorry. What's a huckster? That is an amazing word.
It's like someone's hustling you, like take
Huckster.
I don't know, Google it. Maybe I just made it up.
I hope you didn't. That's fine. That's an awesome word. I enjoyed that. Sorry.
Okay, so if you're a huckster, if you're a hustler, and you're not channeling the dead, you're not a medium or whatever, but it gives you the message that you needed to hear anyway. What does it matter? And I get the
that's cool.
the fake it sort of thing. So like, there's that guy that's come up a few times in my feed recently, and he's not a channeler of the dead. He channels, I think, an alien group.
Tate, Andrew.
He goes by the alias Bashar. Have you heard this Bashar guy?
Wait,
So-
he used to play for the Tigers?
Yeah. So Bashar channels, I can't remember because I don't know enough about him, but
Okay.
I've watched enough clips to go, wow, that's fucking insightful. Now, even if he's not, he's been doing this for 35 years.
Yeah.
This has been a very slow process to like, he just goes around hosting conventions now and people asking questions and he answers them while he's channeling this entity from
But he's been doing it 35 years. He must be stoked social media came along.
Yeah,
Like
so-
for 20 years of him doing this, he's just walking from town to town.
No,
doing it.
he was selling out things and they were taping it and recording it and he was
Oh,
selling
he's
out
like a
venues.
John
Oliver, I guess, style. Yeah.
Oh, not John Oliver. What's his name?
Yeah.
You're a psycho, John. You know the man?
Yeah.
John.
Yeah.
John.
We talked about him last week, and I was like trying to remember his name, couldn't remember it. Then
Yeah.
but
Passing
anyway,
over with John somebody.
yes. Oh,
hate-
should we Google it?
Yeah, let's do it because there's someone in the car right now punching the screen. Like,
Yeah.
it's bloody John
John Jones.
Candy.
It's John passing over with John.
Passing.
If you give me the first letter, I'll see if I can find it.
I literally forgot how to spell John.
Passing over.
Oh
With,
yeah, the psychic. Okay. That's why you can't trust him. It's a first name. Starts with an E.
Elliot.
That's right, John Elliott, owner of the Eagles. No,
John.
no.
John. I don't know.
Edwards.
John
Edwards.
That's it.
Never trust someone with two first names.
Never.
Never, ever, ever. And think about it. If you got two first names, you're a bit of a rat bag, aren't
Yeah.
you?
Up Cameron Branch.
What is that? Like, you know how names supposed to mean
Branch.
something?
Yeah, I don't
Branch
know.
doesn't mean anything other
I
than
would
like an arm of a tree.
I'd love to go back and find out what it stems from. Like, I know Cameron's Scottish. What is ours? Crooked Nose.
Yeah, crooked nose. So it was a nickname of a king.
Okay.
Yeah. So literally our name was a nickname that the king of like a certain thing had, and it's like a Cameron means like a bend in a river.
Is that
so
like
it's a crooked nose? So the guy had a big crooked nose, and they nicknamed him Cameron, the crooked nose, and he was like a big leader. And then other people started to get nicknamed that, and then eventually Cameron just becomes a name that you name your kid.
Wow.
That's what Cameron. It's a nickname. It's a nickname from a king.
So Cameron, what was that? What language did that stem from? Like
It'd be Gaelic.
Gaelic.
Yeah. So I think a Ron is a river, and a Cam is the crook. Like it's like a bend in it, so the bend in the river. So
Okay.
like a Cameron or something.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
about
yeah.
that. It's got something to do with rivers and bends. And it was that was basically the king, like the benevolent one or the brave one. And it's literally just a nickname that just everyone liked. Oh, that sounds nice.
I don't
and
have
now
a
it's a
crooked
name.
nose though. Neither
But yeah,
do
everyone
you.
else has got like a servant of God or the holy one. We're like crooked nose boy. But I think it makes it more authentic because it's literally just a nickname. It's a nickname that lasted thousands of years.
I love it. But branch, I don't know. Where
Branch
would that
is weird.
stem from? Like
Literally
everyone, like,
that stem. It literally might be like, I don't know.
Would it be like French, like a branche or something like that, or would it be?
Yeah, Blanche. It might
Blanchet,
like
yeah.
what isn't it Blanche white? Blanco is white in Italian. Blanche
very
is to, like,
pasty.
to take white out of something. Maybe it comes from that, and then it's been like butchered through the years, and then it's
But yeah, so going back to this Bashar guy, and maybe I'll play a clip, like an audio, and then you'll understand. You'll be like, oh,
Yeah,
he
okay,
is
slay.
insightful. So like whether or not he's lying or not, even if he's not channeling this alien, who cares?
yeah, it's still fact. Like it's still got some truth to it, right?
Either he's just hooked onto this very, he's quite wise and understands the way we should think, and he's quite insightful, or he actually is channeling an alien.
Oh my god. Okay.
His story as to how it works. Maybe we could do a whole episode on Bashar. It's fucking...
When you say he's channeling an alien, is this just like the way he picks up because he wants to probe? Is that?
Well, yeah. So this is the...
It is part of my culture.
I'll see.
I assume he has that accent.
I think I'm hooked up to the Roadcaster. Let me just double check. I'm not, but I'll hook up and then I'll play a couple of his things. I can't even find them.
This clip is brought to you by Kahuna Golf. Raunchy beer.
Can't even see the Roadcaster. I can hold it up to the thing. I'll find I'll find a clip, and then you might go, "Oh fuck, that is
Okay.
insightful." Have I been? This is very great listening, isn't it? At the moment.
Would you like
Here you go, Bashar channeling. Let's see what he says here.
So he's like channeling an alien. He like connects to an alien and he's like sharing the information.
Yeah. So should I just pick a random clip? It could be
Yes.
terrible. Maybe I'll go to Reels because
It could be terrible.
Like
as
if I go to one with like hundreds of thousands, maybe that's got like more of an insightful.
Oh, I feel you. Yeah, because there'll be a reason.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, I'll pick this one. I don't know. I don't know what's being asked.
All right, I'll say good day to you this day of your time. Transmission today will be the Interstellar Alliance Social Experiment Step 4.
Now, actually, I don't like these. I
Is
like
that how
him.
he talks?
Yes, but I prefer him when he's
I find that
when
hot.
he's asking someone's like he's answering questions
Yeah.
from people in the audience, and you're like, oh wow, what a fucking insight.
So is he constantly channeling them like he's an open like he's a radio receiver, or has he got the person inside of him?
Okay, here we go.
Magnetic grid of the Earth.
Yes.
And the portals that open up.
Yes.
And people utilizing those portals for travel.
Yes.
Now, those
It'll be
portals...
more common and more consciously done on your planet in the years to come, although it does happen from time to time, now and then, randomly, and some people that are proficient at this can do that already on your planet, but it's not that many.
You mean proficiently, like with simply with their physical body, activating the whole body system,
Well,
electromagnetic?
in other words, proficiently in the sense of being consciously aware of where the portals are, when they open, and passing through them.
Yeah. Now, when that happens, my question about that is,
Yes.
does that happen where a person walks through a portal and it's already designated to some extent where they're going to go, or is
It can be.
complete-
Some
okay.
portals are like that, and some portals kind of fluctuate.
Okay, so like consciousness plays a big part in it as well, where a person's focused.
Let's look at it this way. Let's talk about it dimensionally.
Yeah.
In one dimension, a portal is a point. In 2 dimensions, a portal is a circle that you can step through. In 3 dimensions, like your reality, a portal is a sphere. And that's also 4th dimensional, because then in time, the sphere moving in time becomes a cylinder, a tunnel, or what you would call a wormhole. Yes?
Yeah.
Then in 5th dimension, it becomes a hypersphere. And a hypersphere means that whatever point you enter will actually be a completely different tunnel to a different location, even though it's all connected to the same sphere. So your world has point portals, it has circle portals, it has sphere portals, it has wormhole portals, column portals, cylinder portals, if you will, and it has metaspheres, hypersphere portals as well. So each of them does a kind of different thing. Wormhole portals in general can be connected between 2 points, and sometimes it can fluctuate. But for the most part, it is the hyperspheres that are connected to multiple points, and depending on how you enter, where you enter, the angle of entry determines where you wind up on the other side.
So does the pineal gland utilize it? Do we utilize the pineal gland as a hypersphere?
The pineal gland is very, very critical for understanding how to navigate the portals and how to sense when they're open and where they go. So the production, the high production in the pineal gland of dimethyltryptamine, DMT, is crucial to reach a certain state of production at a certain vibratory frequency to be able to sense the portals more clearly and exactly what vibrational location they connect to.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Because the energy is basically information telling you what the portal is in detail.
Yes.
Okay.
And that translates strongly when the pineal gland is at a certain frequency based on the amount of DMT that it produces naturally.
Okay. And then with plant medicines, for, let's say there's
sometimes
MAO
that can
inhibitors.
open it up. The teachers that grow from the earth naturally can help open some of that up, yes.
Will that help with opening it up to a prolonged, long-term experience throughout a person's life?
That depends on you. In other words, remember that what the plant teachers are teaching you is how to recognize that state, but you have to get to a place where you know you can simply recreate that state without the plant teacher. Otherwise, the plant teacher has just become a crutch or an addiction.
Right, because I feel that deep breathing actually activates the DMT more than anything else I've ever experienced.
It is one of the reasons why, this is not something that the channel did consciously, it's one of the reasons why when you experience the idea of this state of our connection with the channel, you hear the breathing change.
Yeah.
It's actually pumping up the production of DMT, so it gives the channel's body more ability for us to utilize it in piercing into different dimensional realms to extract the information that we give to you.
All right. So
Wow.
okay, the start of that seemed a bit, because I just picked a random clip there, but start of it was a bit interesting, the portal stuff. But that breathing thing, I literally spoke about last week.
Yeah.
How I felt like I did something with my breath in my meditation that put me in a psychedelic state. That's very interesting. But do you see how like it's quite insightful the way he doesn't seem to like...
He doesn't seem to use your word as a huckster.
No.
Because like a lot of these people, they're real, just being like real surface level, reading body language and shit. He is a not very charming looking...
Yeah.
Basic kind of older man wearing a Hawaiian shirt. There's nothing very instantly likable about him. He doesn't feel like a car salesman kind of like...
No.
There's no instant charm there where he's trying to win you over. And he's very just like, this is these facts. Like it doesn't feel...
Yeah.
It doesn't feel... And then maybe that's the selling technique, apathy. You know what I mean? Like my lack of enthusiasm is making me trust him.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like he's trying to sell me anything. And then he's telling these things and it's like feels so... What he's saying is insane.
Yes.
If you technically.
Yes.
But because of the way he said it, it literally sounded like he was explaining A plus B equals AB.
100%. And I mean...
Translation device, a better telephone in a sense?
Makes you, so it sort of helps you pick up on those signals a bit better. But I mean that's a random clip that I found, and
is that him being like a guru there, or is he channeling that information from something else?
From someone else? And so the one I seen the other
cool,
day,
what he was saying with the portals.
Yeah, the portals. That's interesting, and that the whole concept is actually probably how I understand it myself from my very limited understanding is, the 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point, 5 point, and then on.
Yep.
Like a fifth dimensional reality is pretty well explained in Interstellar. That whole you can sort of pick and choose and where you want to go, and your pineal gland is what he's saying is what helps you navigate that.
Yeah, where you're going to be for it.
What do they call it? The Tesseract style thing that they have there. But it's very interesting. But the one I did see just recently where I went, wow, I don't care if you're fake or not. Like it was, a lady was asking him about the future, and he's like, what does the future matter if it doesn't exist? What exists is now.
Yeah,
and the points he was making, I was like, what does it matter? He could be the biggest liar and the biggest huckster going around. If what he's saying, I know you love that word, if what he's saying is helpful and insightful, who cares?
Yeah.
So I'm starting to, and that's just an example.
That's the whole principle, though, that why we let people have religions, though. It's because on a base truth, a lot of what they're saying is love and truth and honesty. And people who aren't that into who are just smart, agnostic about it, are like, yeah, well, we'll let you have that because that's fine. And then that's when you get all the bad things that come with, Anyway, so that was
but that's it, because I think
as long as the truth is kind of nice and pleasant, it's all right to believe in, right?
I always feel like religion's been hijacked, and religion in its core is beautiful and it has a good message. Jesus's messages are great. I don't think Christianity is its original self. I think it's been hijacked and abused by the church and in search for power and greed. But
I guess everything is, right. Everything you do, everything's power.
Yeah.
And the easiest way to control people is the feelings, like the next level. I'm sorry, yeah. But that's old mate though, the alien man. How did you find him? He just randomly popped up on your feed?
Yeah. Do you know what? Randomly, I feel like I used to listen to a podcast called the Unbelievable Podcast. It used to be so great. It was years and years. It's finished now. It's done. It's been
unbelievable.
It had a cult following. This is back in the day when just when podcasts were starting to take off. Joe Rogan was hitting the main, everyone was going, oh, do you listen to Joe Rogan? It was that sort of time.
Okay.
It was probably about 10 years ago.
Mark Maron's what the WTF was big.
Yeah, 100%. That was big at that time. And
remember Obama went on it and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it's crazy. So that sort of time period, this podcast was not world beater, but it had enough of a following. And I used to listen to that, and they were just three comedians who would talk shit about conspiracies and aliens and ghosts and all that. It was fucking fun. It was a very fun one, because if it was a terrible conspiracy, like what we do, we take the piss and go,
it's just silly, yeah.
It's silly. But that's all they did was just conspiracies and ghost stories and stuff. And I loved it. It was fun. It got me through my workday. And I remember them doing an episode on him. I can't remember how they framed it or whatever, but I remember that coming up. And then I do recall recently just come up in the the swipe in the doom scrolling, and it was it starts once you start liking one that it started out as something very insightful about just mental health and just why would you think this and that, and I liked it, and now I see a bit of them. So
that thing about the future and the past thing is pretty. It's weird to think about. Even I don't know, as a fun thought experiment, you're how far back in the past could you go and survive, and how much or even to say, I would kill it if we went back 100 years ago, and but then it's would you want to? You think of the quality of life, I don't know. And then you think of the future. What's it like? Yeah, now is probably the safest. I don't know. It doesn't exist. Where were you when the Renaissance happened? We know what happened because there's the paintings, and people are sad when people mock them.
Yeah.
We know it happened.
Yeah.
But where were you? I don't remember it at all. Where were you in the Holocaust, Branchy, specifically?
Yes.
So it's but the future is as real as the past was.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a fuck, hey?
Exactly.
Oh my God. What's any of this mean?
So just exist and be. And so it is an interesting concept, because I look at it, and I sort of touched on it last week on how you can just place yourself in whatever reality that you want to be living in. And I truly believe that there's, I not truly believe. I think it's been to a point proven that multiple dimensions exist, and whether or not we exist in that reality, that's another question. But what dimension you can place yourself in, that's very interesting. And people who believe that in manifestation say that you can place yourself within the certain pockets of reality. That doesn't mean that reality you were in before doesn't continue to exist. and that version of you doesn't continue to go down the path. But if I was to say, okay, I'm going to be a millionaire and I'm going to be a poor person, both realities exist, and my perception of where I'm existing is just what changes.
Yeah, that's cool. Like you're changing which storyline you're on.
Yeah.
That's
and
real cool.
I can change my perception and put it into a new reality. I truly believe that's true. And if right now me and you were to say, okay, tomorrow let's go for a bike ride, and then you say, no, let's go for a run, both exist. And I might choose to go, right, I'm going to go down the bike ride path. And you might choose to go down the run path. Both realities still exist. And you experience us both, me and you. My version that was left with that one goes on the run.
And then we split off.
Yeah, you follow me. My version goes to the bike ride, but you still exist in my reality.
But what happens if you're with your soulmate? You finally find your soulmate, and then you make a boring little decision like that. Like you have Hungry Jacks and they wanted Macca's, and then you split from your soulmate and you end up on different realities.
Isn't that an incredible...
I hate this.
Yes.
No.
I
love that. That's really, really cool.
I don't. I believe it. I fully believe that's...
Because it makes sense too. Like, so just in what we know, we only know what we know, right? I know that sounds like the most dumbest shit to say.
Yeah.
But like everything, like, so when they designed the school year for the Western world, we did it like farming. Well, you thought of brains like farming. So that's why we have it in seasons. Like you have to do it and you till the ground, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, then you have time off to let the crops through.
Yeah.
In Asia, they do it how they do farming, which is rice paddy. Like I got all this from Malcolm Gladwell, by the way. I didn't just make this up like I'm a psycho. They show that their school system is like so rice paddies is you have to work on it. The more you work on it, like the wake up early, like that's why their school system is so much more rigid and hard because it's just the way they see the world. Anyway, that's like we just extrapolate. So like if we want to move around everywhere, technology like horse, car, bicycle, that's how we physically get to move hundreds of kilometers an hour and get to physically move. We shouldn't be able to go as fast as a Ferrari is, but we can. We shouldn't be able to get to the moon, but we can. We made that shit, right?
Yeah.
All of our consciousness is just chemicals.
Yeah.
Right? All of our experience of reality is chemicals. Yeah. So maybe to move the chemical reality, you just need a different chemical, like the DMT added to the pineal gland or whatever. You get more DMT, and that's the vehicle, like a rocket ship or a Ferrari, that takes your consciousness to the next one.
And that...
literally, like, that's all. It's like you're getting into a car when you hit the DMT and then you just, whoa, and you're getting those realities. It's like you just got into a Ferrari and it just changed.
Well, people can call you crazy for having that thought, or people can call me crazy for having my thought about dimensional realities. But the question still remains and still cannot be answered. Does consciousness create reality? Does material reality create consciousness? And the question still is unsolved.
It's hard, but also what's exciting, it's got, I don't know, because we can only really go by what consciousness we know about, or what life we know about. Yeah. And as far as we know, we're one of the only conscious things, right? Because even monkeys, you know how we taught apes and gorillas to do sign language? In the 40 years they've been talking to us, they've never asked a question. They've never once asked a question.
Wow.
Like, because they don't understand. They just know that if I do this one, you'll give me food. If I do this one, I'll go wee-wee. They don't actually have the conscious thing to be like, yo, why am I a monkey? They've never asked a question. They don't have consciousness.
Isn't that
and then there's
the difference, the leap, isn't it?
I guess, but then it's like, and then there's birds. Some of them do have conscious. You know that thing where they put a dot on a bird? So there's a thing where you can see if an animal's aware of itself, where you put a dot on its head and put it in a mirror. So if you had a dot in your head and you looked in a mirror, you know that's not another branchy looking at you. You just take the mirror off your legs. Crows will know that. You put it on a crow, you put it on a magpie, they're smart enough to be like, what the fuck? And they'll get it off their head.
Yeah.
Most other animals think, hey, there's a fucking dumb animal in front of me with the thing on its head. Cats and things like that, they don't realize that's their reflection because they don't have an idea of self. So there's like certain animals, there's a level of consciousness just having an idea of self. Yeah. And that's one of the tests. So they put the dot on their head kind of deal.
Wow.
So like, but what I was getting to, is like they just found there's water on Mars. They just found it's about 4 km deep. There might be rivers underneath Mars.
Wow.
Which means if there's actual flowing water underneath. Yeah. Also, I just got that off Reddit this morning. Who knows if it's real? Yeah. But that's supposedly what they just found. So it's like if there's actual rivers down there and there's life under there, I don't know. Maybe
water.
More information on consciousness, right? Water is the key of life in this galaxy.
And that's to what we know. Yeah. And it's what they're finding now. Like that life can exist in the most harsh environments.
But what if there's a little fucking, not even like a little amoeba down there? What if there's actual animals?
Exactly.
Like little fishy boys or whatever. And you're like, what the fuck is this?
Because all we need is an amoeba. Or is it fucking a bit of bacteria.
And then we breed it with a monkey and see if we get humans again.
But if that's the case, then we found life.
Yeah.
Now, intelligent life, potentially, that's not. But still,
Life's life, baby.
Life's life. So, yeah.
How exciting.
Oh, yeah. How exciting. It is interesting. But yeah. I just think all of these sorts of questions, I think they're just fun.
Yeah, dude, that's the other part. Like, don't you... All of this theology, all this what is it? It's like, if you don't think about this, what do you think about? Doesn't life just get monotonous and boring? Like if I think if I don't like daydream and like be kind of wondering about like these things and we have these little conversations and stuff, what like you go to work, you make money to pay bills, so you can go to
The observer
put a bullet
effect,
in my head.
The observer effect, for example, excites me so much. And like,
Isn't that? I know that that's the exciting one where they're like, if you watch something, it had a different reaction than if you didn't.
Yes.
But haven't they proven it's just because when they measured it, they're affecting the results? So by measuring it, by observing it, they're actually affecting the test. So the way that they're measuring it, you know how like if they didn't do anything, the dots hit here.
Yes.
And if they did do something, it went through a different thing.
Yes.
Well, what they've kind of worked out with that is not because that's being observed, it's the way you're observing it. So whatever you're doing to observe it is actually affecting the test. It's not just a case of I'm watching it and now it's doing it. It's the way we were watching it is affecting the test. That's why it's moving the thing.
and what's the difference in the way we're watching?
I don't know. I just know that that's what they kind of debuffed that whole, you know how it's like if we didn't look at it that and move this way, supposedly
like the
that's
whole
the
tree falls in the forest doesn't make a sound. Sort of.
Yeah, it's like the way that the scientists are explaining it. But I'm not a fucking scientist. The person I might have heard this from might be full of shit. But apparently that's what kind of explains that effect.
Because
that
sound's
it's
just
the way
energy, isn't it? So if energy isn't absorbed, it doesn't exist.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we're the right level of smart. We're on that Dunning-Kruger. We're on the Dunning-Kruger level where we're like smart enough to be inquisitive and smart enough we don't know. So we're like, ooh, how exciting. We're standing on the precipice of not knowing, right?
Whereas
a lot of people are like, no, this is what it is. Fucking book. And other people are like, I don't know anything. But I feel like we're at that right level to know enough to theorize, but also no, we don't know fucking anything.
That's probably why that Bashar guy is just like, nope, what it is this. And it seems so blunt. But they're like, oh, these precious little humans.
I feel like too, like, is that maybe okay, so like, you know that Russell Brand guy? I never found him funny. It used to frustrate me. When I can see the magic trick, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like what you're doing. Like if you're doing simple setup punches, I hate when I can see that coming. Like when you do with the setup, if I know you're doing a pullback reveal and you've done the setup, you start thinking about what the reveal could be. It's not fun anymore. I can see the magic trick.
Yeah.
Russell Brand's magic trick is just say a whole bunch of words, add a whole bunch of adjectives. Instead of saying I sit on the chair, I flounce over and delicately place my derriere. And it's like, that's where the humor is because he's using lots of words. It's not fun to me. I hate it.
Yeah, okay.
What was the point of this? I had a reason I was saying this.
What were we talking about just prior to it?
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
What
were we talking about just prior to it? Oh
my
Lord.
God.
Do we check tape?
That's how dumb I am. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not dumb, you silly boy.
Anyway.
But anyway, you don't like that. Yeah, do you like his because he's quite insightful? Is that were you getting at that sort of thing?
Oh, yes. So he just confuses you. Thank you. You're good.
Okay.
He's just confusing you with words a lot of the time, and that's what's funny. Like, those words.
Yeah.
I feel like with the guys like that guy, like, I feel like I'm not dumb, but some of the things he was saying, I was like, I know those words, but I don't recognize them in a sentence. Like, I don't, I'm kind of like just trying to grab. And it's like, oh, that's a real smart way of like not being able to pick apart. You know, like Terrence Howard, listening to Terrence Howard, he was full of shit.
Yeah.
But we don't know enough to pull it apart.
Yes.
So when he's saying the boop de boop de boop de boop and all that stuff, like they sound good enough.
And
like
then
words.
you have
it's. I feel like that's maybe what he's doing when he's like the dimensional ports and this and that. It's like I don't even understand what you mean.
I feel like
to
Terrence has like this little ounce of knowledge that he has stuck to. And then can't do the rest, and then he fucks him, and then just makes leaps that aren't logical. But I feel like there's little bits of truth and little hints, but I think there's always hints of truth in everything, and then people get excited.
Yeah, right. And how many times has that dude been told no in his life? Maybe I think it might be a case of he got a lot of money, a lot of yes men behind him, and it's because like he sold this whole mathematical theory to an African country like 10 years ago, like literally scammed them out of, like allegedly. I saw this on a YouTube video, scammed them out of a lot of money for like this new energy source he was going to build for some African country. Like, it's not. I wonder how much he believes in himself, or how much of it's a scam, or are you mentally ill, or who the hell knows? It's pretty exciting either way.
It's an interesting one.
But I just wish I knew enough to be able to be like, nah, it's full of shit. Obviously X, Y, Z, but
And this is why I don't think everyone should have. I don't think anyone can do what they want, but I think it's always best when you have one person have a deeper knowledge in one part, and this is why human race is incredible, because we have experts in all different fields.
Yeah.
And so that person who is an expert in that field can then go, no, that's wrong because of this. And then that person who's also an expert in this field, who maybe disagrees with certain things, they can have an actual conversation. But me and you, who are broadly knowledged on a multiple variety of different topics, we can call out logic and go, oh, that doesn't quite make sense. Maybe you're thinking that because of that. But we couldn't pick apart someone talking like a Russell Brand, because you go, oh,
yeah, it sounds legit.
Yeah.
And it's also, I think there's a level of like, not apathy, but enough to be like, I don't care. There's so many of these specialty things where, and that sounds harsh, but like so many of these special things where this is this and this is that. It's like, okay, sure, if that's what you believe, whatever, man. I don't care enough to argue it.
Yeah, that's right. All you can do is focus on yourself, isn't it? Really. And just, if you focus on yourself and improving yourself instead of everyone else, and I truly believe that with, like that's a perfect example of what's going on with the riots in the UK and all division. It's just like everyone's focused on what everyone else is doing instead of just focus on you.
Do you think that will come here? Like riots and anger and all that sort of stuff?
I would like to think we are seeing through what's happened, because I truly feel that has been stoked. The fire has been stoked there to create division and create not distraction, but distraction almost, and create division, because divide and conquer is a tactic of all governments, and I feel like there's a very real issue.
Yeah,
and then there's also an empathetic side of me, like, no, help the immigrants as well. So there's a real conversation to be had there. Like, don't fucking open the gates. Don't. We spoke about this the last time you were on. Don't undercut your own citizens to prioritize immigrants.
Yeah.
But still do something to help. Like, have a real conversation about that. There's nothing wrong in saying that.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes it's orchestrated to be like, no, we know that's going to piss people off, but we're still going to do it. And it'll come off as this, no, we're just caring about the immigrants.
But I don't see the end game. What do they get out of it? I don't get what when they do.
When you're pointing the finger at each other, you don't point the finger. You don't really stop and look at the person who's causing the issue. And I don't know if there's an issue.
But would we? That's the thing. Like, if you didn't have this divide and conquer, that's what they're doing to conquer us. But we're already conquered. We need a system of government. Someone's always going to be in charge. That has to be. Since the medieval days, the feudal, there's always been a way of, like, divide and conquer. We're already conquered. I already have to pay tax. I already don't murder people. I follow the law. Like, I'm conquered, babe. What are you doing? Like, why? Stop dividing us. You've already have us. Even in this country, we have to vote. I have no choice, or they give you a fine.
Yeah.
And then if you don't pay that fine, they take your driving license off you. Yeah. Because I didn't tell you my opinion on which dork should be running the country.
Yeah.
6 months later, I'm not allowed to drive my car. Like, we're conquered.
This is
You're conquered, dude. Like, stop dividing us and just get along now.
Well, this is why the digital ID scares me quite a lot.
Yeah, but we're already there. I have basically, like, I pay for everything from my phone.
Yeah.
I use my flybys, I get my thing, I get my footy tickets, everything through this. And the way it unlocks is it looks at a picture of my face and boop. What's the difference of the digital? I know that it's still bad and we shouldn't keep giving it. I understand that. But in the whole context of life, like, am I really hiding from the government? They know everything. They know my tax file number. They know where I live. They got everything. I don't like it. And I know we shouldn't just like hand it over, I guess. But
what's interesting is, and I don't know, and this is what's scary about the digital ID and in everything being attached to it. Obviously, be a good citizen. Otherwise, you're being shut down.
Yeah.
You see it in the UK at the moment with people being arrested for tweets, which is
insane.
No, if you went through my Facebook posts 10 years ago, I don't know what the fuck I wrote, but like Could you imagine? And 90% of people, and what people are saying behind closed doors. If you are inciting violence. Yeah.
Nah, even if you are, I don't give a fuck if you're saying, hey, do this, do that. It's the whole Eminem song. Did we not go through this when he wrote his first album? I just said it. I didn't know if he'd do it or not. That's a direct quote from his song. It's like, who's get a gun and shoot at a cop? I just said it. I don't know if you'd do it or not. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, gives a fuck if they write. I don't give a fuck if you're writing, go kill people in the streets. If you're reading that and going killing people, you're already fucked. You didn't need a tweet telling you to do that.
Yeah.
Words don't, nah. I reckon maybe I'm just being a cop out here about freedom of speech, but it's also like, no, like, you're not going to hide it. And it's like literally arresting people for words.
Yeah.
How many child rapists are getting arrested? How many fucking people are like raping women, like beating people, like actual crimes? Are they getting arrested? But words, wham.
Yeah.
Fuck off. That's like actual insane to me.
I agree.
There's nothing I can think of you could tweet that I'd be like, yeah, that deserves a jail sentence.
Yeah, jail.
Like jail?
What the fuck, man? Like
what?
You can look at it and go, mate, that's disgraceful. You can't say that. That's disgusting. You can say that.
Yeah.
Jail?
Yeah, you're going to jail. Like, it's like the school prefects from primary school
We are
the school prefects from primary school 1. You can't spit on the ground. I'm telling the principal you're going to jail now. Like, what?
We are literally living in 1984. This is a point like social.
There was way better coke back
So social credit is let's not pretend it's not coming in. Let's not pretend you're not getting a social credit score with this digital ID. That's exactly what's happening in the UK with people being arrested. They're going against what the government said, and they're being arrested for it. And well, not necessarily the government said what they're saying. Some of them are saying some fucking dreadful things. Granted,
Okay.
but they should not go to jail for that. Not at all. That's fucking, yeah. It's fucking scary. It's dangerous. It's weird. It's fucking making me anxious. But then I'm going to put myself in the reality where it doesn't matter. Putting myself over here where I just sit on a podcast and read ghost stories.
Well, because that's the other part of it, dude. Like, it's like that whole, was it Hicks or something, or like even right now you look at that window, it's like we're in North Perth or whatever. It's so fucking beautiful out there.
Yeah.
Beautiful blue sky. It's
Yeah.
20 degrees.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, the world's on fire. Okay, it's fucking 40-hour flight away.
Yeah.
I have to spend a lot of money and a lot of time to get anywhere near where this problem is. And I know that sounds so horrible, but it's like I'm just trying to run my quiz company.
We live in the fucking. I've seen that. Have you seen that meme where we live in the Hunger Games?
Yeah, we're definitely District 1. We are definitely District 1.
What the fuck? Like when you see it, like you see the Met
Gala thing
ball
was crazy.
And you're like, we are living in the Hunger Games. There
100%.
are sections and sects of society that are living in poverty, in war, just struggling to get by. And then the what is it called? This number one?
There's Section 1 or
Section
something,
1
or whatever it is. That
comes in, fucks us up, takes our
District 1, yeah.
District 1 comes in, takes our utilities, our resources, and a few of our people, and that's exactly what we're seeing.
No, but we are living in that. Like, we're the ones that are in that one.
Exactly.
We're the
We're
fancy
district-
wankers acting like everything's fine. Like, because it's insane. What you and I do for a job is actually insane.
Insane.
My great-granddad had worked in a coal mine.
Yeah.
They used to come back after like 12-hour, 15-hour days or whatever from a fucking coal mine and have an order of who would have baths. So it'd be like the dad, the older brother, all the way down, and then the water was like cold and muddy by the time the women and the girls got in. But like, that was their lifestyle. Cut forward a couple of generations. I ask Family Feud questions at my quiz. I play bingo. Number 11, half of the hit 9/11 duo. Number 11. Like, the fuck is this, dude? We're in District 1 all day.
It's nuts, man.
Number 1, best district.
Oh, crazy.
It's kind of gross, hey?
Yeah.
But also, let's not think about that. You want to know something cool? I know it's got nothing to do with this, but it's kind of got something to do with this. I saw a thing, and it's about who got paid what for the Olympics. Because each country has a different setup of what you get paid.
And what does the Olympics pay?
I don't know, but the countries themselves pay separately.
Yes.
So like I've got the list. So a gold medal in Japan's worth $45,000. I think these are all put back to like the
Australian dollar?
I think this is all in US dollars.
Okay.
So an Australian gets $20,000. Morocco, $200,000 for gold.
Oh my God.
France is $86,000. Spain's $100,000. $50,000 for sports teams for Spain though. Individual, like per athlete on a sports team, you get $50,000.
Wow.
But $100,000 individual. The cool one, Kazakhstan. If you get a gold, they'll give you a 3-bedroom apartment. A silver is a 2-bedroom apartment, and a bronze is a 1-room apartment.
Oh my
So you
Lord.
came third in your chosen sport. Here's an apartment, 1 room.
Wow.
Go over to your mate's house. Oh, 2 rooms. You came second. That's pretty cool, hey?
I'm going to Google this because I want to know. I'm interested. Does the Olympics pay athletes? I think, as far as I'm aware, it's 80,000 euros.
Wow.
For gold, and then like I don't know, 40,000 for silver or something like that.
That's pretty good.
But I'm not 100%.
Plus, you get a gold medal. Like, it literally, is that not worth a house? How much is gold worth?
But the Olympics make so much money.
Yeah, dude.
So
Yeah, they do.
does the Olympics pay Olympics? Oh my God, we need to think pay athletes. Okay, so at a press conference in May, IOC President Thomas Bach explained that it is common practice for athletes to receive money prizes from NOC's governmental bodies through sponsors for their achievements at Olympic Games.
Oh, so yeah, it's individual countries pay National
So it's
Olympic
not-
Committee. So each country's Olympic committee has their own. So basically like that setup.
So what about the Olympics? What do they put
Nothing.
their money towards? I guess programs around the world, surely, or something.
Well, what money does the Olympics make? It generates...
Sponsors, millions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, but does that not just pay for the Olympics? Doesn't the country who's hosting the Olympics get that money?
Nah, the country pays.
Because they pay billions to get it, but you
Yeah.
get that back in
surely,
revenue.
Surely.
You have to, otherwise who the fuck is hosting this dumb sport? No offense.
Yeah, well, this is why
I get
Australia
it, and
has
it's beautiful,
said-
and people are trying for their goals, and hell yeah, but like you're doing cartwheels on a fucking beam. It's not that...
Yeah, that's why Melbourne, I think it was it Melbourne, said no, we're not hosting it.
Commonwealth Games.
Commonwealth
That
Games.
was the
yeah.
Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
But that's, probably because they're communists.
Yeah,
I love having strong opinions on shit I don't understand.
Yeah, well, speaking of things we don't understand, the afterlife.
Bum, bum, bum.
Haunting messages. We've got lots of messages, and we haven't done them for a while, so I thought we'd read some stories today.
Yeah, I love stories. Is there any psychics that listen? Has anyone ever hit you up and been like, hey, I got a message for Cam. Please. If you're a psychic listening and you got some messages for me, I'd appreciate.
No, but if the listeners do know anyone in town that's a psychic or wants really, really strongly recommends a psychic that's onto it,
Yeah.
Or if you are a psychic and you can do that sort of stuff, please DM us.
And can you
on
teach me?
Instagram, because I really
yeah.
check the TikToks inundated with like thousands and thousands of messages. I can't keep up, but
That's cool.
now I'm going to say this, but Instagram, I generally read most of the messages, so even if it's in the requests.
Guess where I'm sending my dick pics.
Yeah, send me a message if you think there's a good...
I think I might be able to become a psychic. I
Really?
reckon. Yeah, because I've got a real good power. You can ask anyone. By anyone, I mean Matt Storer. He's mostly the person I played with. But not Atomic Kitten, that's a band. Push the button and... Exploding Kitten, the card game?
No.
Exploding Kittens, and you got to pull the cards off and one might be the bomb?
No. What's the bomb? Like, you designate a card as the
Yeah,
bomb?
so there's cards and there's bombs in there, and you just got to
Oh.
keep drawing cards, and you can play things to be like, no, you draw it, or this person, or skip to the next person. But
So
there's
each
a bomb
card
somewhere in the
means
thing.
a certain...
Yeah, they mean different. It's like a thingy, but there's bombs in the deck, so it's
Okay.
really exciting, and you never know if you're going to get it. I always know if it's the bomb. Always. Like I'm an ESP psycho.
We've talked about this in the pod. You knew Holly Valance.
Yeah.
Do you remember that story?
No, what happened?
When me...
I'm very good.
Me, you, and Sarah, and someone were in a car park, allegedly chatting.
Right?
No. We're at a pub. Chatting. And who was your first wank to?
Oh, and I guessed yours is Holly Valance.
You looked at me. Looked at me and
I
went,
felt it.
and you went, Holly Valance.
Yeah, I had the image of her, silver top. It literally came of a wave looking at you. It hit
Yes.
me like a wave. That was weird. So I could be a psycho.
There's something there. A psycho.
I can guess who your first wank was, and I can know when the bomb's coming and exploding kittens.
You knew.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could
That's
tap
funny.
into that.
What a fucking loser X-Man that would be.
I know
To
who
work
you
out
wanked to.
the first person you jizzed over. Big Bird, that's weird.
Sorry, Holly. I hate to turn you into a...
Oh,
Whatever.
Like Holly Valance, listen. No, but she was a beautiful woman.
Oh, she was incredible.
And
she
she
still
had-
is, man.
And she was in that song, hey, the Rogue Traders, Trading Rogues.
Was she?
Is that
oh,
her?
yeah.
No, that's Natalie Bassingthwaight, which is the same person. With a different name.
Both neighbours.
Have you seen that conspiracy theory that Brad Pitt and Benicio del Toro are the same guy?
No.
It's actually, they look identical. It's so weird, man. And they have the same mannerisms and they eat food on stage together. And when Benicio del Toro won his, like Google on your phone, Benicio del Toro / Brad Pitt, they look identical, except like, Ben, he's like, old mate's like closing his eye. It's crazy. And then stuff like when he won his Oscar, who gave him the award? Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt's wife. So then all the photo of Benicio with his award, 100% they're the same guy. When Brad's doing a series,
my God. I'm going to have a look.
Look it up. I hope it's the right name, Benicio del Toro. You know that guy?
Right, I love Benicio del
Yeah,
Toro.
that's Brad Pitt, bro. It's the same guy.
He's from he's in so much, but what's it called? What's the Johnny Depp one? One of my favourite movies. Why am I drawing a blank at the moment? The drug one.
Look at that, mother. Yeah,
Benicio.
this guy, see?
Oh my God!
Yeah, there's that one. Because he played Thingy. And there's at every single level at all. It's just him with old makeup on to make his eyes thing. It's fucking Brad Pitt. And then when you look at I watched an interview with him on, like, I just thought this is a silly theory. And then I watched an interview with this Benicio on like late night. It's Brad Pitt. He moves like Brad Pitt. I'm in love with Brad Pitt. That's Brad Pitt, bro. 100% Benicio del Toro as Brad Pitt's greatest role.
It's a real life role. He's punking the world.
Yeah, bro. He's the greatest actor to ever live.
Oh
We'll
my
find out
God!
about
If
that.
you are not watching and listen at home, I'm going to clip this up.
Benicio del Toro
They
and
look.
Brad Pitt.
Benicio del Toro just looks like Brad Pitt wearing makeup, squinting.
And then when he won his Oscar, Angelina's the one that gave it to him. And then she's there with him in the pictures and stuff, being like, oh, I'm so proud of this random guy I don't know who I'm married to.
If this ends up being the greatest punking of all time,
I think Brad Pitt is the greatest actor of all time. He's won an Oscar as a different character. It's genius, bro. Brad Pitt's the king.
this could be real.
I think it
It
is.
looks so good.
It's him, man.
Now, if it's not,
I love
who's done that? Who's gone? Oh my God!
That's my favourite bit. That someone sat there once and was like, you know what? I reckon Brad Pitt and Benicio del Toro are the same guy. And then the pictures line up. They line up so well. You're like, oh, fuck, it might be the same guy. Actually, have you ever seen them together? I haven't. I've never looked for them.
Oh, please.
Brad
Please
Pitt.
say they've never been seen in the same room.
Together.
Like, never been to the Oscars. Oh, that would... Imagine...
Oh, they've done a movie together, but so did Lindsay Lohan with herself. Like, that's... You know, I've seen Parent Trap. They don't mean shit. Man, it's the same... Like, which one's Brad Pitt in that one?
No.
So that's what. Let's go to the camera. I can't. I let you bring it up, but it's for co-starring in that Stable Diffusion. That's fucking Brad Pitt looking at Brad Pitt with a squint.
It does look like Brad Pitt looking at Brad Pitt.
Anyway, that's my theory. Thanks for playing.
That was fun. That's my funnest. That's my happiest I've been in a while.
That's good hype.
That's great. Oh my Lord. Okay. Shall we read a ghost story?
Yeah.
How long are we going for? We got like 55 minutes without reading a ghost story.
I'm so sorry.
This is meant to be a ghost story yet, but we just like talking, Cam.
Sorry, rat bag.
It's okay, rat bags. These are great because they're great for clips. But let's have a little look. I wrote down a bit of a longer one first, and then I got some on the laptop.
All right, awesome.
Okay, so when I was 9 years old, my dad moved to Australia, and I lost contact with him. Then I moved to Australia myself a few years later. I tried to get in contact with him, but I couldn't. Then I found out that he had passed away from a family member. My two boys, who were 4 and 5 at the time, didn't know anything about their granddad. On the day I found out he had passed away, my 4-year-old son came up to me and asked if I would draw him a picture. I said, yes, of course. What of? He replied, can you draw a picture of a man and a little girl holding hands? The girl is wearing a dress with lines going across and down, and her hair is in pigtails. When I drew the picture, I asked my son, who is the picture of? We only have boys in our family. Then my son replied, it's a picture of Granddad and you, Mummy, which I was pretty took back by, as he didn't know anything about my dad. And when I looked closely at the picture, the little girl looked exactly the same as I did the last time he took me to a Christmas party when I was 4. I had pigtails in my hair and I wore a checkered dress. When I asked him, why did he get me to draw that picture? He said, Granddad told me it would make you happy.
Whoa. That's crazy. Wait, did he put lions on the dress or lines?
Lines, like checkers.
Oh, okay,
Lines
cool. I
up
thought
and-
lions. I was like, oh, that kid didn't understand.
Classic.
That's
But-
that's full on, man.
Yeah, so draw a picture of a girl wearing pigtails, with pigtails in a checkered dress, holding a man's hand,
'Cause it'll
and
make
it matched
mummy
the
happy.
same picture that they took together when she was 4.
That's pretty cool.
And the fact that when you double down and ask, why did you draw that picture? He said, Granddad told me it would make you happy.
Kids don't have that filter. Hey, there's so many things that be like, they just say things like they know it, and you're like, who told you that? What do you mean, Granddad said that would make you happy? Oh, that's creepy. Do you get chills on yours?
Oh, like some of these, I read these stories at night and I'm by myself and I'm like, oh, I need to stop. There's a lot. But it's kind of nice. Like I try to read the nice ones, but it's hard. You got to vet them and filter them.
Because that's so beautiful though, because it's not like you can be like, oh, that's a coincidence. Maybe the kid was, but it's like, I don't know. It seems pretty legit. The timing of it, she just passed. Then like the picture just happens to look like that's kind of.
Yeah, 100%.
That's like a message, right?
Oh, I think so.
But also, the dad didn't I'm not being a cunt. Not being a cunt. But the dad didn't contact her the whole time. Moved to Australia, grew up without her, didn't want to send her messages. You moved to the other side of the world to be the same country. Oh, he's dead. He didn't try to contact you that whole time, but he puts in the effort when you're dead. What? Like, it's a real all or nothing kind of guy, hey?
Do you reckon when you're a human...
I'm sorry, that was mean.
When you reckon you're in human form, you've got the ego, you got fucking all sorts of things going on.
Yeah,
Whereas
there it goes.
probably if you put past that spirit, you go back to source and you have your knowledge, for lack of a better word, maybe.
I'd be more pure.
Potentially. Understanding.
Yeah, you'd hope so, because otherwise, think of all the nasty shit your grandparents have seen you get up to.
Yes.
You'd hope they're not judgmental. Like, just think of I hope that when you pass, you aren't judgmental, because they've seen me do some nasty things.
Yes.
Horrible things.
Horrible things.
Stop looking.
I'll tell another story. Have you got some as well?
Oh, everyone I picked is dumb, and then I start pulling it apart. I'm sorry.
That's okay, but they might be fun to be dumb. But it's all right.
Okay.
I'll read one.
Sorry,
I'll read another one.
Yours are good.
Okay. My pop and I had 333 as a code. My older brother died. I prayed for Pop to take care of him. The next day, I started my car and the clock read 333. It was 10:30. I had to reset the digital clock.
Aw. I like that.
Yeah. Could be just like the clock malfunctioned, but...
Yeah, of course.
Also,
but also, why is that their code? I
why
love
is
that.
that code? I don't know, 333. I don't know.
Do you feel like... Okay,
That
sorry.
was from a very elderly person as well.
That's really sweet. That literally must mean something. I don't know. But like with the numbers...
That was from Anne Costa. She's an old lady.
A lot of people get codes with loved ones. Do you have a code with a loved one? Do you and Scotty have like a special little code?
At the moment,
yeah.
it's a bit gimmicky, but ours is I love you 3000.
See, that's like, so you I feel like all my loved ones, I need to quickly get a special code, unique code. So when I die, you'll see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have to be like, hey, ladybug to one of my friends. So then when I die and they see a ladybug, they'll think of me.
Yeah.
You know, or something, you know what I mean? Like all these stories seem to always like they had a code, 333. If you never had that code,
Yeah.
what was the clock going to say? Love you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's lucky you had a code that the clock, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe I just need codes in my relationship.
Do you know
and then
what?
I'll get ghosts.
Do you know what I love you 3000 is from?
The Avengers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Scotty doesn't. I just said it to her once in jest. I was
That's
like,
real
love you
cute.
3000. Like and she was like, I love you a lot of 1000. Oh, I love it, mate. It's so good. I think
love that she doesn't-
I
she
love
knows
you a
math.
lot of 1000.
She knows that it's a math number. She
Yeah.
just doesn't know a number
Yeah,
bigger
yeah.
than it. So just a lot of 1,000. It must be bigger than 3.
Oh, it's a lot. Okay, so Aussie girl Justine. I yelled at my mum for not leaving me a sign. I picked up a coin off the ground. I'm an American penny. Her name was Penny, and I live in Australia. picking up a penny in Australia. That's
and she was a stinge. No.
yeah. And it was just as she yelled at her.
That's
mum
pretty
for not letting
freaking
me a
cute.
sign.
And there's a little penny.
That's kind of nice. I kind of like that.
I really like that. I'm sorry. I keep going to putting into our life because I want these special moments. I want a ghost story. What would your branch fell down? My dad's name was Cameron Branch. Like,
well, I'm sure like if it was like me, no, I don't want to even put that out into the world. But like if it was me passing on a message to my daughter, for example, when I'm older, mine might be like it would be a lot of thousand, I guess.
yeah.
And it'd be like someone in Jess might go, "Oh, that's a lot of thousands." Like,
Can you do it like where you haunt Delby? I think that would be really cute.
what am I going to haunt him with?
Like haunt him, and then you know how he has.
Bro,
you know
you
how
seen
he has
that
his-
guy's lifestyle? He's he's not living longer than me.
No, but you know, but you know he has this urge, like it's almost like a disease to just drop a pun whenever there's an option. Can you get that? But he can't do a pun. He just has to be like Cameron Branch or like 3,000. He can't stop it. He's like, why? I've lost my pun. And he just mentions you. That'll be the best because then it'll be like the podcast lives forever.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was weird. I'm sorry.
I'll haunt him.
It's just we have to give a shout out to Delby on an episode. He's not here. All right.
Yeah, I'll have to give him a. I'll. You know what? I'll let him love himself.
Slay. Yeah. Get it. Son.
Okay. Perfect balance wellness. Okay. I'm a medium. Ooh, interesting.
I'm a 4XL.
Yeah. You fake it till you
It's a
make it
weird game
sometimes.
to play. What size are you? Large, I reckon? Why would you open with that? I wear a medium, 14 shoe size. All right, bragger, fuck off.
Okay. I'm a medium. My sister was a non-believer, but lost Nan's ring. She rang me up and said, if you're talking to Nan, please ask her where the ring is. I was out walking and I heard my Nan say, on the grass, in the weeds. She ran outside and into the backyard, lifted up 3 weeds, and the ring was underneath. This happened in the space of 3 minutes, and now she believes.
So good.
That's actually really good.
That's so good.
That's a banger.
When did this happen?
It doesn't say, but
Oh my God. We need to ask that Nan. Ask her more. Nan, where's Osama?
yeah. Did we find him?
Did we? Where's the body?
Oh, it's in the ocean.
They were just like, we can't find this dude. Fuck, he's dead. We threw him in the ocean.
I like
He's
it.
a cool movie.
He's a cool movie. All right, okay.
I want stuff like that. So cool.
Look, I vetted these about 3 or 4 weeks ago, so I haven't reread these, so I can't remember how they go. But this one starts off a little. Yeah. All right. My friend was murdered. Ooh. My friend was murdered before we had talked about what comes. My friend was murdered before we had talked about what comes after death, and that, if possible, we would show each other a sign. After I had heard about him being killed, his picture hangs in my living room. It was laying on the floor every morning. This went on for 3 weeks until I said, okay, Mick, I understand. It's never happened again since.
Holy macaroni.
So it just, now, either have you got a faulty hook? Mate, like if it keeps on falling down, maybe like fix the hook. But that's an interesting one, especially when when it never happened again after he said,
they pointed
okay,
it
mate,
out.
I understand. Yeah.
Because especially like some people are like that. So you know how they'll try to get your attention, or like say you're on stage and they'll flash it, and you acknowledge them, you put your hand up, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you know, and it's like, no, I get it. I'm wrapping up. I know my time.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, just letting. It's like, yeah, fuck. Do you need me to say hello? Yes, I understand. And that's
Yes.
almost what happened. Like after the second day, he realized it was his friend.
Yeah.
But it's like 3 weeks later, he had to openly be like, fuck, I know it's you. Stop it.
Yeah.
You're ruining the tiles.
100%.
But why did they have this conversation?
I don't know, like
Because he was murdered.
Like, okay, if it happened to us, what would you leave? What would you do for me?
Like to prove, but what
I
am I
think
proving
this
that
is
there's
how
an
these-
afterlife,
but
right?
This is how I think these conversations come up.
Right.
Like just randomly, like, oh, you're telling a ghost story. Oh, what message would you? Oh, if you die, you have to tell me this or whatever. You know, like, I don't like those doing that, but yeah. I guess that's how it comes up.
I would
Or what would you do?
this is for all of my loved ones, just if you're listening and
Okay.
if I ever die. Hopefully. I would, I've got a lot of catchphrases, a lot of things I say that are uniquely what I say. People randomly will say that. You know that whole thing about someone would come up and be like, my leg hurts or something. You'll randomly, like Scotty would be like, yeah, daddy. And you'll be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Or like, heard of it? Like people that shouldn't be saying those kind of things would say it. And you'd be like, oh, it was Cam.
You silly sausage.
Someone would just drop the N-bomb. You're like, hey, it's Cam.
Yeah. Okay. That's so funny. All right,
I ruined it.
Mrs. Shanks. Mrs. Shanks.
Mrs. Shanks.
I can't remember if I got these from Instagram or TikTok, but Mrs. Shanks. I was parked at my son's school and we watched a car back out of the driveway. I was parked in front of it. It drove away and then not a minute later, it backed out again. My son and I were stunned.
Love it.
Is that a glitch in the Matrix?
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. That's just what happens to me a lot.
Really?
A lot. And one of them is, you know that episode in the Truman Show where he's trying to leave and then things kept coming, like things happening in his things and stuff?
Yeah.
That happened to me the other day and I parked my car and got out of the car.
Really? You just were like, oh.
Every corner I turned, something fucking weird would happen. It really, I went to leave and as I was leaving my house, 2 cars pulled out of their drive that way. I was like, all right. So I just quickly turned right. I thought I'll go down this way and turn. And as I turned right, then the rubbish truck came. I was like, fuck, so I'm stuck behind the rubbish truck. And then I turned left and all of a sudden I'll go down this side. Literally every side street I turned down, something weird was happening. And then there was a police breatho thing. And like, honestly, this drive should have been 10 minutes. It took me 25 and something kept stopping me. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I honestly feel like when that stuff happens, it's always like either one or two things. A, slow down, chill.
Yeah, was I supposed to be waiting for something? I'm not supposed to be somewhere.
Yeah, you're not supposed to get there on time. That's what I think.
Because literally I parked. I pulled over and like stopped and got out of the car for a second. I'm like, what? Just to catch my own breath because I have this problem with thinking everything's against me. And that time it literally was. I just needed to get 10 minutes away. And like half an hour, I still haven't moved anywhere. And like it was so insane to me.
But isn't that the... Is that sort of the idea of what I was talking about before when you place yourself in the reality that you believe you're in?
And then it's that thing, it's like, did I need to get to where I needed to go or it was just that whole idea and then
you actually placed yourself within the reality that everything is going to be in your way at the moment.
And then part of it too is to get away from all the things that was happening where I needed to get to. I thought, fuck it. So I went the long way to get out of it. And then I got stuck in all of this like Saturday morning traffic going into Spud Shed. And then there's like a set of lights and then just all this shit, like just bullshit. And it's like, I think maybe that was adding to the frustration because half of that problem I chose. You didn't have to come this way. I tried to do that to be a smart ass to avoid a problem.
Yeah.
And I just put myself into more issues. And then I think that added to the frustration of why is this happening to me? Yeah. But really, there was 2 cars in one street. And instead of being like, fuck, I'm not sitting behind 2 cars doing the speed limit.
Yeah.
I'll go behind this rubbish truck. And then that just set off a series of like unfortunate events where I thought I was in the Truman Show and they didn't want me to get anywhere.
Yeah.
But really, it's just me making that decision when I turned. I should have just gone left.
That's why I think sometimes you just have to just go. It's easier to go with the flow.
Yeah, just accept it.
Yeah, accept it. Like change lanes and then, oh, now this one's slowed down and that one's going faster.
That's, yeah.
And that's a go with like, if you watch traffic on the freeway, if you watch someone zoom past you, change lanes, you end up past them.
So many times. I always think about that, especially when I get frustrated and I do change lanes. The amount of times when that's happened to me and then I go past that person, I'm like, haha.
In peak hour, you're not changing anything.
Yeah, you're not moving.
The only reason you can expect someone to really change is if they have to get on the inside lane to get off.
Yeah.
Aside from that, just fucking stick there, mate.
I will do it though if you're leaving too big of a gap.
Yeah.
If it's peak hour traffic and it's bumper to bumper and we're not barely moving and you're in front of me and I see you let multiple people in because of the gap you're leaving, fuck you. I'm going in that gap now. You don't get to be in front.
Yeah.
You're a bad leader.
You're a bad leader.
Like, because everyone is coming up beside us and getting in front of us. I'm now 4 cars back because you think you're being a nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I like to try and keep a reasonable... So I like to try and help the cars behind me. So you know how it comes to a stop?
Yes.
Like a complete stop. If you are smart enough to just keep it rolling.
Yes, that's what happens.
Instead, and not just zoom up to their back and then stop, and then the next person zooms up to your back and
Because then
stop.
it's just a continual stop of nothing.
Yeah, if you just go, right, I'll just make sure I'll just ease up to that, but I'll keep that flow going, and then I'd never had to stop in the first place and then kept on going. And then it makes it easier for everyone. And then you're not stopping. It's not a progressive stop.
Exactly, because that's literally what happens. You can see it.
Yeah. I try to be the conscientious driver who tries to help everyone behind me.
Yeah, that's what you should do. But even being conscientious too is also like just keeping the flow of traffic. I know we're doing a lot of car-related like thingies, but can't you just don't keep the flow? Like if we're both approaching a merging thing and we're going 100, you slowing down to 80 is going to kill one of us. Yeah. Stay at 100. I'll slip in behind you, or I'll go faster in front of you. Yeah. You don't have to slow down to 80 to guess what I'm going to do. Yeah. Because now I have to work out what the psycho who's doing 20Ks under's doing and pick whether I want to be in front or behind you. Yeah. Like it's fucking insane. Yeah. Like how do these people? I'm sorry.
Because merging is
not that hard. Do the speed limit. If there's a car a little bit in front of you, slow down enough for them to slip in. Yeah. If it's behind you, you speed up enough so you make sure you're in front. It should be fucking butter. There shouldn't be any braking. Just go, son.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm an efficient driver. If there's a gap, I just go. And sometimes you catch yourself daydreaming. You're like, oh, I could have gone there. But and I understand the danger sometimes in zooming across. Like there's some stuff that's just too dangerous. Yeah. Don't be stupid. Because what happens if you stall or fucking skid or something as you take off? Yeah. There's always accidents that can happen. But look, yeah, just be fucking smart.
The way people treat you on the road though is definitely related to the car you drive. Oh, yeah. So for most of my life, I had an old Commodore, like a Commodore, and the way that people would get out of my way is insane. Like it was just, I almost thought like this was my right of way. If I'm in the right lane and people would just get out of my way if I was in the Commodore. When I'm in the Cruiser, people who don't, it's almost like they want you to run them down. They'll slow down and you're like pulling, and you're like, I'm 4 times bigger than you with a giant rhubarb. Yeah. Get out of the fucking way. Yeah. They just refuse to. And the amount of people now that I'm driving a little Ford Fiesta, a little Mexican party car, the amount of people that cut me off is insane. It's insane because they think it's like a little girl or something, or like they don't care. It's like disrespect act or something. Yeah. The amount of people that will pull out on me in like full speed and they'll, or just cut me off, and like it never happened in the Commodore or the Land Cruiser.
I noticed the difference with my Ute and then my Dodge Caliber, which is a tiny little fucking get around that costs nothing on fuel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mate, difference is huge.
It's insane. It's like wow. It's like wow. This is how you really do get treated differently on the road.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't yell at people or anything anymore. I do notice that sometimes when I'm a little late, I'll be like, "Fucking come on!" But if and that's me. Yeah, that's not them. That's me. Yeah, because those people are always there. Yeah, they're always there. They're always holding you up. So the difference between me yesterday, where I didn't need to get somewhere and that person's holding me up, and I'm not yelling because I'm like, it's taking me an extra minute to get to the beach.
Yeah, okay.
Who cares? But if I'm late for that meeting, that minute's going to cost me. It's not really.
Yeah, because it costed you.
If you're 5 minutes late or 6 minutes late, doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're still late.
Still late. And
you're still pregnant, you know?
If you're there at 7:59 instead of 8, or 8, instead of 7:59, who cares? It's 1 minute, really. But
yeah. Tell that to your boss. You heard it here at the Hard Yards.
Well, even like if you're 15 minutes late, what's the difference between 16? Or if you're 30 minutes late, what's the difference between 32 minutes late?
Oh, I'm very much more defeatist like that. If I'm already late and like it's beyond, well, that's why I'm getting a coffee now. I'm gonna relax a bit. I'll have a cone.
100%.
I'm already late. I might as well be late and comfortable.
100%. I got one more story here.
Let's do it. Make me cry.
And I've got we can finish on this one. How long have we been going for, Cam?
Hour and a
14. Yeah, cool. I don't know. I haven't been completely blown away by these stories.
None of them have really I'm scared. You know,
we could have a quick little look through some of the comments as well. Maybe we'll have a quick little look. All right, this is from Mesa Hauri.
Cool name.
Before my dad passed, I asked him what would be the sign he would give us if he was around. He said, "A man will come and tell you his name is Waleed." That's his dad's name. That's her dad's name. I said, "That's not going to happen." I asked him to give a different one. He said Redbird. One day, I'm working as an actor on set, and the other actor's name is Ali, or so I thought. He asked my name, I tell him, I ask his, and he says my name is Waleed. That's it.
That's cool.
I mean, Waleed is a...
There's only one person in the whole world called Waleed. It's the guy off that show that no one likes.
The project.
I don't know. No, I don't know. What do you think of that? It's not really a...
Look, I don't know. Oh, look, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. That's a lovely story. We'll go with that. I'm going to go through some comments.
Yeah, find a comment one.
I'd like to find a good old scary one. Let's go at random. These are always a risk, but let's go a random story. I'll go through this one because that's got all the comments. 3,840 comments, most of them stories. All right, I'm going to go.
There's so many ghosts.
Flick. That's like. All right, I've stopped on one. Oh, it's got. Oh no, we've read that one.
That's why it's got so many likes.
Yeah. Okay.
So many people commenting though of like the ghost stories. There's so many ghost stories. Like, you know, people are like, oh, if there was ghosts, everyone would have a story.
Well, there's a lot of people have a story.
A lot of stories.
Yeah, there's a fucking lot of stories. All right, I think I found one. Let's see. This is from Kate Wasky. My dad called me the morning after my grandfather passed away. He told me how he heard bells in the middle of the night. I asked what time. After he told me, I shared that my newborn baby had woken up at the exact same time. I couldn't get him to settle down. My cousin was with my grandmother as she slipped away. It was the same time Dad heard the bells and the same time my baby wouldn't settle. I have no doubt that my grandmother was trying to say goodbye to my son.
Yep. Yeah, that's cool.
That's a nice one. Fuck, man, we got so many comments, hey?
Wow, that's really cute.
I mean, it's nice. I like that one.
Do you ever get that? Do you have that invisible thing with people you love? Like there's like a connection there when something bad happens?
No, I don't think I can recall ever having one of those moments. No.
Oh, I literally had one this week. It was real
Did ya?
weird. So gay. It's so silly. But like I was like laying on watching TV and just like had my hand on my ear. And it's so dumb. But then I got up because my ear was killing me, like actual sore, because I'd heard it from like leaning on it too much, I guess. And I was like, that's so weird. I never really hurt my ear before. And I was like flicking it, trying to get the blood back to it. Right, went to bed. Such a dumb story. Wake up at 5 a.m. I couldn't go back to sleep, so I had a little sesh with myself, went back to bed, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Then later on that day, I was speaking to one of my like closest friends, and they they had to have time off work and shit because they're in agony because they had a left earache that was like proper hurting them. They'd been up since like 5 o'clock that morning, like throwing up and in pain and sore. And I was like, oh, okay. But like two complete, like I know I hurt my left ear by just leaning on it for too long. I thought so. And it really hurt for hours. I was like flicking it, trying to get the blood back. Like, it's so sore. What have you done, you idiot? And then, like I woke up super early and had to have a little, and then like literally that's weird. What's that? Are we twins? Did I give them that? Did I curse them like a little voodoo doll? What was that about?
I don't know. I think you got a bit of something about you, Cam. Something about you.
Something about you.
I think there's something about Cam.
All right, wait. I'm picturing someone listening now. Your first wank. I've literally. This sounds so fucked up. I just had an image of people getting the old Kmart catalogs out of the letterbox. I swear to God, if you're listening to this podcast, please. I literally just had a picture of like just Kmart catalogs coming out of a letterbox. If your first wank was to Kmart catalogs and you're listening to this podcast, can you please message? Because that's such a weird superpower if I have that.
I mean,
that is so weird.
I feel like I was aroused by them.
Were you?
Yeah, definitely aroused by them.
Maybe it's just you. Maybe I can just pick up what turns you on. That's so weird.
Anyway, moving on.
If you're a psycho, teach me how to use this power.
Yeah, I do want to get a psychic on.
Yeah.
It would be fun. I'm just going to lean into this stuff. People are loving it.
Let's get a psychic on, but do little tricks to things just to see if they're aware. Like rename the podcast the Yarn Hards. Do like call yourself Delby and have Delby be Branchy. Just do little shit to see if it they pick up on it. Because if you can't even pick up on that,
that's a great
one. You're getting
one.
That's what I think. Little shenanigans. Test them.
That's a great one. I'm going to go through this one because this one's got the this is the signs one. So the signs question stories are always good. Okay, let's have a look. Found one. All right. Hopefully we haven't read this one. Okay. My bro came to me in a dream a few weeks after he passed and said, "Don't worry, it's all good. Yvonne was very wrong and gave me a massive hug. Yvonne is our sister who said there was nothing after death. I was 34 weeks pregnant when he passed. When I had my son, my brother came in a dream once again. The last time, it's been 7 years in November. He came into our house and said, I can't stay long, but I need to meet him. The son. He leant down to my son and teared up. He tussled my eldest's hair and gave me and my husband a big hug and said, you're doing great, it's going to be okay, and then left.
Whoa.
I mean, that's nice. Sorry I read that poorly, but it was written a bit. I had to change the grammar a little bit, but
that's real sweet.
That's kind of nice. There's so many.
A lot of those ones too, it's like you can see that's, I don't know, whatever about the subconscious or however, like the things that they need. Do you know what I mean? Like she needed that. She obviously needed that. She was heavily pregnant. You just lost your brother, and like, you know, I'm not saying it's not. But you know, that you can see like, that is something that you're subconsciously, that's a nice dream for you to, if a dreams are us putting on plays for ourselves, that's a really nice play for you to play for yourself.
I agree.
My brother coming in and meeting the baby, that, you know what I mean? Like it's real, it's beautiful.
An Aboriginal man told me he had a message from the dead.
This sounds like a racist joke if I ever heard one.
Well, I hope not. I've not read it. And
I really hope you've read the punchline first.
Oh, no. Okay.
This sounds like a joke I would have been told in the 90s.
Fingers crossed. Here we go. An Aboriginal man told me he had a message from the dead. And he told me his son was... Oh my Lord. Okay.
Indigenous and like the afterlife stuff is so full on, man. Some of those stories and like you know how like they even have to say like this image contains, they've got such a connection, I think, with there's way more spiritual thing with Indigenous people. So this might be full on.
Okay. All right. I haven't read ahead and I'm a little afraid. Okay. Here we go. An Aboriginal man told me he had a message from the dead and told me my son was going to die.
Oh.
I shook it off. Then my dad came to me. He had died a few weeks earlier and said, sorry, mate, today's the dad.
I read this. Yeah.
Oh, today's the day your son is going to die. Please don't take it out on yourself. That day my son went to sleep and never woke up and I'm still not okay. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I don't like reading that one.
Yeah, it's a terrible one. It's that was a SIDS one, hey? Yeah. Oh, it's pretty fucked up, man. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't like reading that one. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Because what a horrible fucking, like literally it's the whole plot of Darth Vader is that prophecy. The thing you love is going to be taken from you and it twisted him. And that's just the story. Like imagine that in real life, having that dream and then it, like you talk about imagining your own realities. Fuck that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's try and finish.
That was a sad one.
Yeah, it's a sad one. I'm going to try and find a...
You're talking about people's loved dead ones.
Oh my God, that's a terrible way to finish it. We're not going to finish like that. We're going to find something.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to find another comment. So I can't do that. Oh my God, don't do that to me. Not like this.
Is there
not
any
like
nice
this.
ones? Is there any nice ones?
Yeah, I think there'll be nice ones in this. Okay, let's find one.
Like, why isn't there hauntings where it's just... Do you know what would be cool? Like, my favourite ice cream flavour is spearmint chocolate chip. So I think it would be fun if I ever died that like I haunt a place and every time you try to get an ice cream it tastes like spearmint choc chip. That would be so cute. Everyone's like, the banana tastes like spearmint choc chip. The vanilla is wrong. And then everyone will be like, wow, Cameron's a ghost. That's a nice one. Thank you.
Oh, I love it. Okay. I'm
going to give my loved ones little kisses on their foreheads. Like that. That's what I'll do. So if you're ever sitting there and I'm dead and you hear on your head, probably wasn't me.
Okay. I need to find something that's nice. It makes me... I can't find anything. Can we tell a fun story?
Yes.
I can't find anything that's nice.
Wait, there has to be a nice one in there. I've got a funny one that's about JD Vance. It's not even that funny.
Okay.
It's just that 200 people went to his Michigan rally and I laughed.
Okay.
Well, who goes to rallies? Anyway, sorry to get political. That's weird.
Yeah, go.
I need a funny story. Let me just see if I've got one for you.
I feel bad.
No, that last one was real harsh, man.
Yeah. I almost want to edit it out.
You can if you want.
Okay. Let's find something. Here we go. Let's read this one. Where am I? Here we go. I haven't read this, so I hope it's good. Okay. My mum passed one day at 6 a.m. I went home that morning and I couldn't sleep. I heard a noise outside. It was a single cloud drizzling over my house on a sunny day. True story.
Wait, do it again. I missed that completely. I'm so fucking dumb.
My mum passed away at 6 a.m. I went home that morning and I couldn't sleep. I heard a noise outside and it was a single cloud drizzling over my house on a sunny day.
Aww.
So, I don't know. I mean, that's a sign, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel like we've ended on such a sad note.
Killed the vibe.
Someone's child died.
Okay, let's definitely we'll take a beat and just find one nice little one. You got this.
Okay. Here we go. I don't know if this one's good. It feels better. Okay. My uncle told me he would come to me in a dream to show me there was an afterlife because we both suffer from sleep paralysis and already had insane dreams. He told me I'm here and the door is open. I'm showing you the door. The door is open. He stood up by the open door in my dream.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Oh my God. This is why we vet them.
Don't panic. You're okay. Everything's fine. But like, what does that mean?
I don't know. Yeah. But I don't know. That story's no good. We finished on a negative. Let's finish on a positive.
Yeah.
Hey, Cam.
Hey, buddy.
How's your day been?
Pretty good. Guess what? I do bingo now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about bingo.
I just run a little I bought a bingo set. You know, the bingo balls in the cage, and it's $400.
To win?
No, to the equipment. I bought the big bingo thing.
Oh,
And now
did you?
once a week in Freo on a Monday, I play bingo, and it's actually the best fun. And that's what's going on with me.
Oh, I love it.
I was like, I just needed something different. So I thought, do you know what would be fun? I'm going to host a bingo.
I hosted a froth quiz. That was great the other night. And I hosted Paddy's quiz. That's all going good. And Squealing Pig I'm so excited about. And Fringe.
Look at you. You got all these options. You got your own venue.
Yes. It's good. All right. I'm done.
All right.
We've left on a negative.
Can you fix this in the edit? It makes it more real. This is what happens sometimes. Sometimes it gets real sad.
Yeah, sometimes it's sad.
Anyway, you should have positive affirmations if you're listening to this. Do some affirmations for yourself.
Yes.
You're handsome. You're cool.
Positive affirmations definitely work. And
I wish I could do them, but...
Why can't you do them?
Because I don't believe myself. If I looked in the mirror and was like, Cam, you're real cool, I'd be like, no, you're not. Shut up.
You are cool.
I wouldn't listen to me. I'm an idiot.
I think... people's self-limiting beliefs are a thing. It's interesting at the moment. I can start to see things, not that I'm completely, it's not like I'm fixed and perfect or anything like that, but I can see the things that I went through over the last 2 or 3 years. I can see them in people. And part of me wants to go, well, one, I want to go, hey, it's going to be okay. But two, I almost want to go, you just need to realize this. But I can't because they need to realize it.
Yeah, they've got to get them themselves.
Yeah, we've spoken about it before where you go you can have the greatest story, but if you're not speaking each other's language, you're not going to understand the story. It's the same thing with wisdom. Like if you're not ready to hear the wise words or you're not ready to hear the knowledge, you're not going to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it a lot now. And it's great that I've been through my little journey of self-development, and I feel like I've come out the end a better person. And the camera's turned off, so what perfect timing. But
that's a sign.
That is a sign to finish. But I think just anyone who's going through their journey at the moment, their dark night of the soul, the tough times, the end does come. The light comes out. There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
There is, yeah.
Yeesh. But anything you want to plug, Cameron?
Just come to, I got Loosey Goosey Quizzes, my whole company. If you're in Australia, come and play quizzes somewhere. We've got 15 quizzes across Perth. Or got bingo now. Mondays in Fremantle. So if you're in Western Australia, free to play. Come on a Monday in Freo.
I love that.
Loosey Goosey Quizzes. Check it out.
Perfect. Join the Patreon and come to Squealing Pig. That's it.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.